Hi, I want to show you an exercise for releasing tension in the back of the neck and skull, specifically within what's called the suboccipital muscles. This is a complex set of muscles that really love to be tense and drive me crazy. So I think you might appreciate this. This ball here used to look like this ball. But what I did was I took out the air so much that it is now this flat apparatus. And you know you have the right amount done when you can press into the ball, press with both hands in, and your hands do not touch. But they're about 2 inches away from each other. Wait till you see what we're going to do with this. First thing we're going to do is lower down onto the ground and get ourselves comfortable. Then grab your deflated ball, like this one here, and make sure that the little nipple part is not where your head is going to be, because we're going to use this ball like a pillow, and it's going to go right underneath the back of the skull. When you do so, you're going to be able to move your head ever so slightly. So I'm going to use this other ball here to kind of show you what's happening. And the top bone of the neck kind of cradles the head in 2 little saddle joints that look like scooped hands like this. And I wish I could reach my big ball, but I can't. But the bottom of the skull has 2 little protuberances that look like the bottom of these balls. And they rest into the little scoops of the atlas bone. So when you take your head and nod, the atlas holds the head up, but the bone of the skull rolls in this little saddle-like structure. I'm saying saddle because it's kind of like a seat for the skull. So as you take your head in a nod with the forehead going forward, the occipital bone slides back, and then will come forward like so. So I'm imagining that happening as I go. And right now I'm just doing this side, which is my right side. And I'm just thinking about that occipital side moving in the atlas. So I do this a couple times and just notice if this movement is smooth. And then I also try to slow it down as much as I can. It also feels better to me if I use my hand against my hand and get a tactile feeling of what it might feel like where the bones are, because you do have a skin that surrounds and protects the bone. And that skin does have the ability to feel. It is what feels pain when we break a bone. Like so. And then I just rest a moment and notice how that feels. Next, I'll do the other side. I'm using my hand as the occipital bone, my knuckles there, and then just the cupping of my hand to be the atlas on the left side. And as my forehead goes forward, the occipital bone rolls towards the back. And as my forehead goes up and back, the occipital bone rolls forward. It's like the opposite ends of a ball. And again, I'm just trying to smooth out the movement of my head. And as I go slower and slower, I can notice more and more where the movement is smooth and where it may seem stuck. Then I'll take a moment to rest. Next, I'm going to do both sides of the occipital bone. So I'm going to use both hands like this. So as my head goes forward, the occipital bone goes back like this, going back. Now I'm going to concentrate on both sides being even. Again, resting a moment. Then I'm going to remove the ball and just notice the feeling at the back of the neck. So I'd like to do an exercise now for the subscapularis, which is one of the rotator cuff muscles. This actually is an exercise to relax all of the shoulder cuff muscles, and it involves inward and outward rotation of the humerus. You can use either the orange Franklin method ball or the deflated blue Franklin method ball, or just a deflated ball. We're going to stick it underneath the arm bone, and I have it close to the elbow, but not covering the elbow, just so it's supporting the middle of the arm bone. Notice how my arm bone is not coming directly out from my shoulder, it's going down at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to make a cactus arm here, like so. My knees are bent there on the other end of my body, and as I do the exercise, the only thing I need to do is to slowly roll my humerus, that's my upper arm bone, in internal rotation. So my hand goes down towards my feet, and then slowly roll the humerus bone in external rotation. I'm going to repeat this exercise for a good 3 minutes in length. So the arm is slowly rolling inward with the hand going down towards the ground. And once you go to a good spot there, reverse the movement so the arm bone spins in outward rotation or external rotation. The hand comes back up towards the face. Now, every moment that you're doing this movement, imagine that the shoulder, all of this right here, is sinking down towards the ground. It's going down further towards the ground. So if there's any places where I feel a little bit of hesitation or a stopping, I'm going to imagine that shoulder just sinking down towards the ground. I'm going to keep the breathing smooth and easy as you continue this motion.